Klondike has become an adrenaline pumper once again. This is as big as it could get. An astonishing piece of news is traveling around the world. Tony Beets has been shut down by the mining inspector. What led to this decision? Is this going to be the last season of the show? What will be the aftermath of this alarming situation? As the sun began to fall over the Klondike, tension was noticeable. Despite the hum of ordinary mining activity, a notable absence echoed in the area. Tony Beets' gold no longer clinked from his hands. The king of the Klondike was in great danger, almost at risk of losing his crown. Did a mistake put his mission in jeopardy? Tony screamed into the cold Yukon air, urging his workers to back the truck up. His urgent words revealed a sense of desperation. Determined to win back his mill and gold mining kingdom, Tony was a man on a mission. 2 months into the season, every miner in the Klondike was deep into the hunt for gold, except Tony. As time passed, not an ounce of gold appeared in his haul. Tony acknowledged the gravity of the situation, noting it was time to adopt a more grounded approach. A daunting goal loomed over him, surpassing 6,000 ounces. This required a significant move, inspiring in its steadfastness. For weeks prior, he had moved his entire operation from Paradise Hill to Indian River, a risky gamble in the gold mining game. But as the season progressed, Tony found himself facing both literal and metaphorical mountains. Was this a bold move? Opinions may vary. Sometimes, Tony had to personally intervene to clear the trucks, the anxiety palpable. It was a race against time, and Tony was not one to fall behind. At the heart of this activity was the necessary preparatory work for sluicing, also known as gaining ground. The drainage and stripping of the flooded cut had been completed, paving the way for further operations. Tony explained they were moving the sluice box up, a complex operation now involving placing rocks in the box to make some quick cash by Friday noon. A dormant obstacle, Tony's shaker wash plant, had been idle for 4 years and required cautious reconstruction before it could sluice effectively. The critical component was the shaker deck, a 7-ton behemoth needing careful handling. His crew craned it into place, a delicate balance of weight and maneuvering. This revival wasn't just engineering, it symbolized a fierce determination to maintain dominance in the mining world. With myriad challenges before him, could Tony rejuvenate his dying wash plant and succeed in his billion-dollar gamble? Time was running out, the drama was palpable, and everyone at the Klondike waited on tenterhooks. The first order of business was handling the screen deck with care, a testament to strength and coordination. Every step was crucial towards achieving success. A wave of tension filled the air as the crew tackled their first obstacle, then moved on to the spray bar assembly, demanding meticulous attention. Tony had always prioritized safety, his constant reminders underscoring the perilous nature of mining. Now, with the spray bar fitted, another vital piece of the mining puzzle was in place. These were merely hurdles on a clear path to gold. A dozer was awaited to hitch up on the sluice box, inching closer to a fully operational wash plant. The mining site, once a field of challenges, now buzzed with renewed vigor, ready men, and the alluring promise of gold. The moment had arrived, and Tony Beets was on the verge of unearthing the first gold of the season. Gold wasn't just a commodity, it was the money with which their dreams could be purchased, the miracle meant for a happier life. There was a certain twist in the story as word got out that some inspectors were on the way. Tony's mood suddenly changed, to his surprise. The unanticipated arrival of mining inspectors added an element of tension to the mood. The Yukon's mining authorities were supposed to ensure that all miners only worked within their licenses. It seemed like an exciting new twist, but instead, it was suddenly like a regulatory braking method in a contest for gold. Since the shock visit by mining inspectors, Tony's effort to extract gold from his Indian River claims had skidded to a full stop. It turns out Tony had left something out in the license. Reality hit home. Tony's ambitious plans were cut short by a critical omission in the license. The definition of Class 3 was rather tight, allowing only a small area to be shaved and sluiced. Tony's words were weightier than a setback. It was an atrocious, terrible mistake. The Indian River claims, at Tony Beach, were so immediately accessible that the thought of mining gold there slid away like grains of sand through his fingers. The hope of a great harvest was blown away, and the cruel reality even bothered to be there. This magnitude of error casts a pall over the mining division. Now Tony realized with a stab of pain what the oversight meant. His golden aspirations were on hold. Can Tony Beets maneuver this unsuspected obstacle, right this wrong, and save the season that is on a knife edge? Tony found himself facing a correspondingly harsh reality. As a person with a restricted water license, he could only strip and sluice 1 acre of ground, quite out of proportion to the 15 acres he fantasized about mining. The message was plain. The Indian River, in its present condition, would be unprofitable. The stretch of land that dazzled men with visions of gold suddenly looked so constricted, hemmed in by the width and length set down by the water license. Suddenly, hopes of a bountiful harvest were in jeopardy. Tony's admission carried a weight of responsibility. They used to sluice about a month earlier than this. It was now agreed that the delayed start to sluicing amounted at least to a deviation from the usual timeline. I think he made a grave mistake, putting his passion in jeopardy. The facts of the situation were scary to Tony, who was seeking justice from the powers that seemed far away. If Tony can't agree on a solution with the authorities, his Indian River claims will be shut down for the season. And his only chance of mining 6,000 ounces will rest solely on his paused operation at Paradise Hill. The fate of the Indian River claims held the key to Tony's ambitious goal, and the looming shutdown added a layer of urgency to the unfolding narrative. The question that lingered was not just about the gold buried beneath the ground, it was about navigating the intricacies of bureaucracy, finding solutions, and turning setbacks into stepping stones. As Tony faced the uncertainty of the season, everyone was left wondering, could the king of the Klondike overcome this regulatory hurdle, reopen the doors to the Indian River, and breathe life back into the dream of a golden harvest? The answer awaited, locked in the negotiation rooms and bureaucratic corridors that would ultimately shape the fate of Tony Beets' mining empire. With that, this chapter comes to a close. As Season 14 of Gold Rush draws to a close, veteran gold miner Tony Beets is caught in the turbulent waters of financial uncertainty. This season, Tony ambitiously aimed to unearth an impressive 6,000 ounces of gold, attempting to outdo his previous record of 5,300 ounces, which had brought in $9 million. Full of optimism and driven by a relentless pursuit of success, Tony secured prime mining claims along the Indian River, hopeful of the wealth they could yield. However, the unexpected absence of Kevin Beets, a pivotal member of his team, cast doubt on his plans, prompting Tony to make a critical decision. In a bold move to rescue the season, he relocated all mining operations to Paradise Hill, strategically positioning himself to maximize the chances of success. Despite his determination and tactical shifts, the results were disappointing. The gold yields consistently fell short of his targets, placing Tony under increasing pressure as his prospects dwindled. As the season progressed, Tony faced the harsh realities of the gold mining industry, where fortunes are volatile and the stakes always high. By week 17, Tony's gold count was a mere 771 ounces, significantly below his ambitious goal. Yet, despite these setbacks, Tony's resolve remained strong, fueled by his determination to overcome the odds and succeed in this capricious industry. Confronted with the potential failure of his mining operations, Tony enlisted an efficiency specialist to overhaul every aspect of his operations, from optimizing rock truck routes to revamping management strategies. "But I can build that, so it's got to be 20 to 25 years ago to be built that," he remarked, underscoring his long-standing experience in the field. Tony recognizes the colossal risks associated with gold mining, viewing success as akin to a grand gamble. With substantial investments tied up in equipment and machinery, the downturn in performance cast serious doubts on the financial viability of his enterprise. The looming question now is whether Tony can avert bankruptcy by reversing his fortunes and boosting his gold production. As Tony navigates the uncertainties and challenges of the gold mining industry, his commitment to overcoming adversity and achieving success is unwavering. The future remains uncertain, but Tony is determined to make every effort count to ensure the sustainability of his operations and avoid the threat of financial ruin.